Hey, hey, hey. Good evening. Hello. Let me see if I can click on everything and show up. Aha, I can. Becoming a professional here. Slowly but surely, huh? I clicked on this button so many times now. We are at stream 396, boys. So yesterday I closed the stream and I was a bit sad that I decided to remove that feature, you know? I said, yeah, in fact, speaking with your pet maybe is not the most important feature. And that's true, but at the same time, I said, why I cannot do it or why I don't want to do it? And so I still spend a bit of time, you know, to understand how to do it. And I think that the schema that we did yesterday, which by the way, I think is gone because my internet, my PC went down completely. So yeah, I think it's GG. I think it's GG. That one is GG. Yes, we have to redo it. Well, we have, we have it under pets, right? But yeah, the electricity went down and I had to reboot my PC. Sometimes it happens. I mean, it's rare, but you know, like once a month, sometimes it happens. I cannot open 3 at the same time, no? What? What? I could associate them to... this one we don't need anyway. There are some of those we don't need. So I was like, why I cannot do it, or why yeah. So and you know the reasoning that we did yesterday about the many, right, connected to each other and such, and the idea to actually have a separate one dedicated to the pets. Unfortunately, that's lost in the crash. But yeah, so to have one that is separated for the pet and this one, which is the one dedicated to all the other NPC. Yeah, I think that's the best idea. And it's actually what I tried a bit. Then it was very late and so I had to stop. But I continued a bit today. And so basically, I think I have an idea now to do it, right? And I did already part of it. So I did some... I did some part of it. And the idea is to try at least, because I said, okay, in 2 hours, on 3 hours, I couldn't do it because we were reasoning on how to do it. But I was thinking that it's a bit of a pity to waste, you know, all that reasoning that we did yesterday. And I think we went pretty close to have a solution. I think we actually went very close. By the way, I had to change the Discord link. Not that you really need it, but I had to change it because today we had a lot of bots that were coming through, and actually all these names that you see here, they were, so you don't see it because I'm in the way, but yeah, all these names were actually bots, and I had to remove them from the server. So the first thing that I did to actually stop the flood of bots was to disable the link. The problem is that when you disable the link, then you need to regenerate a new one. And so now basically all our links are outdated, but I already updated it on the website and on the forum. Unfortunately, for all the YouTube videos, I cannot go back and change 396 videos. I think would be too much and too long. So from the new ones, I will have the new Discord link. right? Yeah, but so the good news is that I want to try. Okay, I still want to try to do what we were trying to do yesterday. It's true, it's not a very important feature. It's true, but I think it's still fun to do it. And so I created the structures which allow us to send the dialogues, which at the end is very simple. Is only so the idea is to keep it separate, right? To keep it completely separate. So to have a separate functionality, well, not functional, a separate storage for the pet brain, right? And having the global dictionary, there is the global dictionary for everyone else. And I think this will work somehow. I hope so. I don't know. I want to try. So this is what I'm gonna do. The good news is that I'm already pretty close to that. I'm already pretty close. The only thing that I need to do so basically now I'm receiving the data. So there is one important decision to take, is when to save this information to the database. Because if we save it immediately, it's going to be a bit heavy on the database, because it means that every time we need to resave all the information. If we save it maybe every 20 seconds, so it is when we are saving the pet, then maybe is enough. Or I don't know. I have to think about the saving. The saving, I don't know yet. But first, let's try to make it functional. I think that this phrase is not needed anymore, because I simplified the idea. Can I delete it? No, I cannot. Why I cannot click on that? Oh, okay. Now I can. So I will delete that. Which will remove it basically from everywhere. And then what I want to do, yes, I want to call this setup when we get the different dialogues. And the setup should basically create a new widget for every phrase that is sent by the server. And then this widget, we need to put it as, this is what I was doing when I connected. We need a scroll bar here. We need a scroll box somewhere. The only problem of the scroll box is that if he has this image inside, is it going to be confused? Maybe. I don't know. Scroll, this will be scroll phrases. Anyway, hello Tony, hello Your Luck, hello Marcellum, hello Hula, hi. Good evening to everyone that wants to follow the crazy developments of a game that has been around now for so many years, and we are trying to make it better. I don't want to see even better, because it was not that good probably in the past, but we are trying to make it better. So there is kind of the scroll thingy, is called scroll phrases, right? And so in scroll phrases, we need to get this, and we need to add a child. And we need to put this child, and this will be the child, right? Now the phrase itself, I think it needs to be set up, right? I think we need to do a setup of the phrase somehow. And we need to pass in these elements. Now, at the moment, I don't know yet how to do the setup. As you can see, it's empty. But I think that for now, very simply, we will just take the we will just take the trigger. I think we can just make a huge append, and we can just say trigger. I don't know if I want to really say trigger or not, but we can probably just put the phrase. Then maybe we can put a space, a /n, which should work as a carriage return, assuming that this thing is multi-line, but I'm pretty sure it's multi-line because it's auto wrap, and yeah, we should. And then I think we can just do a for each. And but yeah, if you just connected, in case you just connected, I decided that it was a bit of a pity not to do what we discussed for so long yesterday, and so I started to do it. Yeah, a separate dictionary which is dedicated to. By the way, we can also use it for other NPC. If there are very, very simple NPC that we want to disconnect, because you know what is the difference? The difference is that today we have this global dictionary, right? And the global dictionary is shared between all the NPC, and is actually containing all the answers, including error phrases or generic answers like who is Lanx, where is Hitler, right? Divided in knowledge areas. And I think that sometimes, maybe, I don't know, but maybe, like the case of the pet is one of those. We want an NPC not to have all this dictionary, but only to have a very specific dictionary. It can be, for example, if we have a sentient weapon or armor or gem or tree or whatever, right? Where we want to have just a separate dictionary that is restricting very, very, very much what that thing can say. So imagine, I always misclick on this one. Imagine having a tree, right? And that you want this tree to be able to talk for some reason. And I don't know if I can do this. And you want, this tree to just be reactive to a specific number of things, which is very, very, very limited, because maybe it will be like a quiz, So if you really want to have it super specific, I think this technique may be fine. And also if you want to do it on the fly, this technique will be fine. Because I think the difference between this technique and this technique is that the one on the left heavily relies on preloading question and answers, while the one on the right can be done on the fly because the tree is so small, right? The problem of this tree is that it's so big because it contains all the NPC and all the quest that changing it at runtime is a pain. Okay, it may become very slow. I don't want to change it at runtime so often. While if we do our own separate tree, then it's okay. And by the way, you can have both. Okay, so you can have NPC that have let's say one of those and one of those, right? So I mean, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but you can anyway, because it's a parallel dictionary. One is not excluding the other. So I actually added a new variable inside PS character, which is managing the local dictionary. I think I called it something like local dict. Yes, local dictionary. So yes, and you can initialize it separately. So I think that the two techniques are kind of possibly working together, and I think could be handy. Okay, there is a bit of a repetition of the code because I had to take a bit of the code that was actually inside of this and kind of duplicate it, kind of duplicate it here. So there is a bit of a duplication of code, but it's okay. Duplication of code is not costing us in terms of performances, so I think it's fine. So what we want to do, what do we want to do? We want to have what do we want to do? I think I need a variable, which I call it temp phrase, because, and this one is just to explain you a bit, you know, what is going on. I think we should start with trigger, and then we should, no, wait, no, we should start with, trigger, control N, yes, and space, and this one can go here, and then and then we can loop, right? We can loop, and then we can append to temp phrase space. Yeah, so the space, probably I don't need it here. Space and the new element, right? And then we need to set it to this. So at the moment this will be a bit brutal, okay, but it's just one phrase after the other when you view it, okay? So it's a bit brutal, yes, but I think it's okay. We can improve it later. I just want to see if there is any chance that this thing is gonna work. It is basically what I'm trying to do. So there will be a pretty big description, because if there is a lot of text, I think we can go 14 or 12. I think that, and then you will be able to delete it, right? Now the question is, if you delete it, what happens? And if you add it, what happens? Because these are the two main events, right? Adding a new phrase and deleting a new phrase. So for that, unfortunately, I still need to do everything. So wait, this thing is a copy paste, huh? Yes, this thing is a copy paste. Delete a phrase. You know what I was thinking? It could be fun. Since you can configure 5 phrases, you could have your pet to give you suggestions, you know. Since they are randomized, you can put 4 or 5 different answers, and then you can ask your pet, like, what should I do today? Right? And he will randomize one of the 5, and based on that, you can do what he's telling you. I don't know, but I think you can become, you know, inventive with 5 randomized responses. So what we need to do, we need to create 2 methods on PlaneShift player controller, which are yes, which are executed on. Why I have everything here? Yes. So we need to open our PlaneShift player controller, right? And here we have a path graph, which is great because all the stuff of the paths is separated in this graph, so we don't have to mess up, you know, with other stuff. And I think here we can put a few things. We can put a new method, which is actually add a new phrase. So path, no, let's call it request add pet phrase, right? And this one will need to have what? This one will need to have, I think, a full trigger. So this one will need to be trigger. We need to have a PS pet trigger. And it will be only one at a time, yes. And this one will be run on server and reliable. I think I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. At the moment, thanks to the discussion of yesterday, I have a pretty good idea of what is needed, which is great. So yeah, this is something that I didn't want to waste, you know, because I said, fuck, if I stop now, I wasted one evening. Delete pet phrase. I wasted one evening, and where we actually move forward because we got the idea. The delete pet phrase is an issue though. I mean, the addition is fine, but the deletion, do we check it by name? Yeah, maybe we check it by name, because anyway we will not have too many. We will have very few. Now, if we could have an ID, it would probably be better, but I think it's fine. I think we can. So we will pass only the trigger. We will pass the trigger text in this case. So we will pass only one string, which is the trigger text to delete. Right? Then the other big issue will be how to reload the pet in a way that it can do this on the fly, because we want this additional removal to be working immediately, right? So that's not that easy somehow. I need to think about it, but I think I also have a kind of a plan for that. So so these two methods, yes, are executed on server, yes. So from here, delete a phrase and add a new phrase. Why we don't have the add? Because here we are inside a single phrase. Yes, we can do it though. We can do it because anyway, this will be the fact that you only have one pet. I mean, one intelligent pet is very handy, because it means that I know exactly which pet you are speaking about, right? Because it's only one, it's the pet number 0. So I don't need to pass this to the pet window, and in the pet window check which pet we are speaking about, right? Because it's only one. Yes, so this will be delete pet phrase, request pet delete phrase, and the trigger text. That's a good point. The trigger text, we need to register it, right? You know what? I think we can. Yeah. I think we will have to register the whole thing. Pet trigger, why not? I mean, we should do it. We should do it on the setup anyway. We should definitely do it on the setup. Otherwise, oops, the other one. We should do it on the setup. Okay, so we set this, and we set this, so we have it here, and so here we can take this guy, we can break it, and we can take the trigger text. Okay, so we'll go by trigger text, which is not the best, but I think is okay. Trigger text. Then this one we request to the server. Okay, let's do also the addition, and then we move to the server side. So the addition needs to be done directly inside pet phrase. No, pet, there should be another one. Yes, it's not open because the PC crashed. Pet phrases. I was here. Okay, GG. So it should be in this one. It should be in this one, and do you want this button to be called teach or to be called learn? Like, do you want it from the perspective of the, I don't know, of the owner or the perspective of the pet? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of difference, but just to say that we can choose if we want to learn or teach. So when I press on teach, I need to call, I need my player controller for sure. I need my player controller, and on my player controller, I'm gonna do what? On my player controller, I'm gonna do pet add phrase. And the problem is that can we do it? Can we create? I don't think so. No, I cannot make it. How can I make? How can I make a structure? That's interesting. How can I make? How can I make a custom structure in Blueprints? Make custom structure in BP. I have a sense of deja vu. I did it already. I have a sense of deja vu of searching this question. I think is maybe because it's read only. Wait. I think is it read only? Yeah, why I put it as read only? Why I have this bad habit of putting stuff as read only? Why all this stuff is read only? What is the reason? Why? I mean, okay, this one we are not gonna change it, but yeah. The reason is that it's read only. I think that is the only reason. I think that you need to be blueprint read and write. By the way, I don't think we need pet dialogue. I think this one is never used at the moment, so I think we can delete it. Yeah, it should be read and write. I think, and if I do that, I will be able to create it. So this thing will change, hopefully. Okay, while we are in the C++, because I need to close this and recompile. While we are in the C++, let's do the two. Let's do the two blueprint implementable event things that we need, right? The two blueprint callable, not implementable event. The two blueprint callable, yes. So we need two. One will be receive. Because the request. Here we are speaking about request. So this will be request add pet request add pet phrase. The only problem is that if I call it like this now, the one in the blueprint will complain because there is one with exactly the same phrase. So I had to add this on player controller, but it's okay. So we do this, and so the add pet phrase should have a pet trigger as input, and this one should have only an F string, we said, right? Trigger text. Okay, so now these two, we are going to implement them here. We are going to implement them here. And yes, I will use anyway this technique of printing. One day I will remove them all, but now I think it's very useful to see who is calling what and who is doing what on the log. So I think I prefer to do it this way. I think we can have a function in pet manager, right? At the moment in pet manager we don't have a way to add a new phrase, right? We need somehow to create it. We need somehow to create it because I think I still would like it to be on pet manager. No, I'm thinking if I can do it directly with the pawn, going directly through the pawn and call a function, but I think considering is a pet, I think it's good to go through pet manager, even if it means that we need to add a new function just to go through, but I think it would be a better idea. Now the problem is when I pass this information, right? When I pass this information, how do I add it? Well, I add it in the same way. I add it in the same way. I add it in the same way when I do load triggers and load responses. The difference, I mean, the same way I do the initialize of the phrases at the beginning. There is initializing the local dictionary, taking it from the then we need to remember to remove the familiar from the other one, yes. But I need to do it pretty much like this. I don't want to duplicate again this code, but I think unfortunately I think I will have to. What is this parse multi-trigger? I don't understand exactly what this thing is doing. Do I need it for the pet? Because maybe it's just an advanced function. Obviously it's not explained. Thank you. Parse multi-trigger. It's for the quest. No, it's for the quest only. But it works also for a single one, so it works only also for a single one, so I think we should keep it. Yeah, I think we should keep it, otherwise this 4 will not work anymore, and we should keep it anyway. Just going to create one. Yes. So basically what we need to do is a bit annoying because we have to redo Another time this. Can we encapsulate? Can we encapsulate? No, because here there are the. Basically is loading the trigger from data instead of loading the trigger from the database. And the problem is that the data that we retrieve is slightly different. Because I cannot really create a result, you know, and so just pass this to the function and have it fork from here down. So I think that one way will be, I don't want to duplicate this thing again. I duplicated it already once. I duplicated it once because basically I'm doing in this function what we do in the global dictionary, right? And so most of this text is duplicated. When I told you that these two things are duplicated, is exactly that piece. Now, duplicating it again is a bit of a pain, is a real pain. Duplicating it again is a real pain. The problem is that when we enter here, we will not have like this result ID, you know? It will be slightly different. It will be very similar, but slightly different. Fuck. So basically, I need to make more parametric. If I make more parametric this part, so that I'm not using, you know, result ID, but I'm moving it, but you see that here there is a load which is taking a result. So the code is structured to function on a result set. It's structured to function on a result set. Yeah. I can create it manually. New NPC response. I mean, this load at the end is very simple, eh? I mean, it's nothing crazy, but yeah, probably this is even too much for us. Yeah, it is probably even too much for us. Because we don't have an audio path, we don't have quest, we don't have pronouns, because we don't have subsequent phrases. So it is a bit overdone for the case of the pet. It's a bit overdone for the case of the pet. Can I do it in a simpler way? Can I do it in a simpler way? Because I did this already, right? We did this already when we did the custom events, right? Because the custom events, when I did setup dialog, setup, what was the name? Setup dialog for events, right? Setup dialog for event. Setup dialog for event is doing exactly the same thing. I think what I can do, I can call this function. The problem is that I will have, wait, dict, I need to send him, because this one is using the global dictionary. Load triggers, what the hell? Load triggers is also using the database. Is also using the database. I think probably the simplest will be to... Is this one using dictionary or not? No, because here we are already inside a dictionary. So basically all of this is fine. All this thing is fine. So we could call log triggers. So let's say that I add specific KA to the NPC. This one is not very clear to me, but okay, is the area specifying the I think we can call this I think we can change this function to take as an input this function to take as an input the dictionary, and if we make it this way, I will be able to pass in my specific trigger and my specific responses, and I will just need to match the ID. The problem of the ID is that or we auto-generate it, or we may be in trouble. No, because we are in a completely different database, so I can actually auto-generate it. Yes, I can. Okay, let's try this thing so we don't have to rewrite this piece, okay? So let's try this thing. Setup dialog for event. Now it's called for event because we did it for the random events, but the function is the same. I think we should expand this function to have a parameter, which is our npc dialog dict pointer, right, to a dictionary, will be like dict to use, right? Dict, not dick. Dict, huh? To use. Dict to use. And this one will be like this. And like this. And that's it, right? Because we don't have in the current block, we don't have dict anywhere else, right? Exactly. So this one will be generic, and this one is able to insert into an existing dictionary one phrase, one or more phrases as we want, one or more. We just need, oops, what happened? No, it crashed. No, it didn't. We just need to it doesn't see it. Fuck. Okay. NPC dialogue dict. Anyway, pointer dict to use. Okay, so now is declared. Now what we need to do, we need to use this one for the random event. If I compile, obviously we'll complain. Text is cheap. Yeah, text is cheap, but it's not cheap to maintain. Because if you duplicate the code too much, then becomes some craziness to actually maintain it. So you should avoid duplicating code as much as you can. And I feel that I already duplicated it enough. So if anyone is new to the stream, just say hello in the chat. Just say, hello, I'm new. What are you doing? It's always a good idea, you know? Okay, we are waiting to recompile. Yeah, but I think this could be a good idea. And by the way, I think also for the events, we may decide to use a different dictionary. But for now I don't want to touch the events code. Call from random generated events or pets dialogues. What the fuck? Okay, we didn't close. We probably didn't close a parenthesis or something. Because when it's going on errors like this, yeah. Ah, fuck. Yeah, the third time it starts to be a problem, yes. I would like also to remove the second time, but I don't know if we can, because actually it's not an exactly copy-paste now. So it's a copy-paste, but then there are differences, and the differences are like every 2 lines. And so, I mean, we can try to make it better from the parametric point of view, but Pararara. I don't know why I always have this feeling that my Visual Studio is super slow. But it's on the SSD. I mean, it's on the SSD, so... I don't know what it's doing. Hey, CPU bound. It's kind of CPU bound anyway. Okay. So here we have the thing. So here that we will take the global dictionary. So here we will pass the global dictionary. And in our case, we will not pass the global dictionary and we will pass our dictionary. So now the question is, do we want to do it here directly, or do we want to call Pet Manager to do it? I think it's a bit cleaner if we call Pet Manager to do it. Because so we keep all the code related to adding stuff, removing stuff, all here. So one will be add pet phrase, right? Add pet phrase, and the other one will be remove pet phrase or delete pet phrase. So the add pet phrase is taking a full trigger, while the delete is taking only a string, we said, right? Yes, because it's just going by string. And anyway, the triggers will be so few that for us it's not a problem to just run through all the triggers and delete those ones, right? Because they will be very few. So we're speaking of a very small database for the brain of the pet. Also, I think we will limit the number of phrases you can store, so okay. So when we are here, so we will call those two, and now all these names are the same, but it's okay. It's kind of okay. And now here for the addition, like we decided, I just take my wait, I need the pawn, but actually I don't need the pawn. I need the pet. So I need to get the first pet. So I need to do pawn get familiar, and so I need to pass in the APS character. Even if here we do it with the owner, I don't know, sometimes we do it with the pet, sometimes we do it with the owner. We are a bit I don't know. Anyway, yes. Sometimes we do it one way, sometimes we do it the other way, but it's okay. So we add the pet as well. The pet is very easy because the get familiar is returning the first familiar, so is enough to identify, right? Is enough to identify our familiar. So we go here, and now here that we have the pet, for the pet we can call no, we can call yeah, for the pet there was a setup dialog, right? Because it's actually on PS card. So setup dialog for event, so we will go setup dialog for event, and we have to pass the dictionary. We have to pass the dictionary. So in this case will be pet local dict. And then we will have to pass the triggers and the responses in the way he wants it. The way he wants it. The way he wants it. The way he wants it is this. Now, specific triggers will always be only one, so we can create it empty, and then we can add just one element. So specific triggers, we can just add one element, and the one element will be equal to a new NPC trigger. Now the only issue, you know what is it? The only issue is to create it the only problem is to generate the ID. Can we hash the name of the familiar? To generate the ID. Because it needs to be unique. It needs to be unique. And it needs to be unique inside the mind of the pet. We don't care if it's not unique across different pets. So or we keep a counter inside a pet mind. It's a bit annoying to keep a counter only for that. Or yeah, but unfortunately there will be no other way. Because we can also start from 0, but you know, the next time we need to generate 1. And I don't want to search the existing triggers because it's just a waste of time. So I think I need to keep kind of a trigger counter inside the mind, the brain of the NPC. The brain of... How do we do it? How do we do it for the events? I think for the events we can do it because we do them all together. We do them all at the same time. And so I think we generated the... Let me see how we generate the ID for the event, for the random events. Because we should be generating them, right? Specific response. No, it should be PS random. Yeah, you see, get trigger ID. Yeah, it's just adding J because we are... Is that just adding J because we are adding them all at the same time. Or I use the time of the day. Or I use the seconds. No, but... No, it's not a good idea. I need to keep a counter, boys. There is no way. I need to keep a counter. Which is a bit annoying because I don't want to add another variable to PS character. PS character already has a million variables, but unfortunately, I think we have to. I think we should do it next to the local dictionary. Yes, exactly here, and we will keep an int, which will be local dict trigger ID. Local dict trigger ID. Let's say next ID or current ID. Okay, let's say ID is already long enough, but let's say that this one keeps track of the IDs used of the trigger ID already used to be able to generate a new one, to be able to generate a new unique one, right? So we need to be sure to initialize it to 0 when the character is created, because anyway when we create it when we create it, oh my god, there's so much stuff. So we start from 0, right? We start from 0, and then we just increment whenever we add to his brain a new number. So there is no other way. We need to do it this way. So trigger ID will be equal to pet local trigger ID, and then we will increment this guy so that we are sure that we are generating a new number, right? So we increment the counter for the next trigger. Then what do we need to do? We need to... Well, the area is very simple. The area can just be the name of the familiar. The name of the familiar. Well, that's not exactly true though. The area... Because I think we are generating an area here. Ah yes, it's taking specific trigger area 0. So yeah, it's taking the area. So yeah, we can decide it. We can decide. It can be anything. Can be anything. The idea was to generate the area like this. So familiar plus the PID. I think that's the safest that I can think of, so that, right? Then prior response will always be 0. I think it's 0 by default, but we can put it always as 0 because we don't need it. Response ID list? Oh my god, no, response ID list, I don't have it, huh? Response ID list, I think is populated. I think response ID list is populated by this guy. I hope so. When we do load triggers, because I don't have... I don't have... Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-bam. Wow, double dragon. Insane. Can I have my... I cannot, huh? Okay. Cannot have a trigger load. Okay. I will go manually. Yeah, we are not setting anything. I think the response ID are set when we loaded the... So I think it's okay. I think it's okay like this. I think it's enough like this. And then we need... so create new trigger. And then we need to create... Well, it's not exactly create. It's more store. Store all responses. And so for the responses, we also need... this one may be a bit more annoying, because for this response, we need... we need a new response for each... we need trigger dot responses dot num, right? And I never said it would be easy, eh? I never said that. Never said that it would be easy. I said that it was possible, not easy. So, do I have a constructor on this? No. Okay. Do we also need to generate the response ID? The response ID. I'm not sure if we need also the ID, or if it's auto-generated, but we can see it in the previous, in the random event, because we did this work already there, which is nice. Yes, we are generating an ID also for this. Okay, I mean that's fine. I think that yes, our okay. I think I remember. Our code is assuming that the response ID is equal to the trigger ID. Assumption is trigger and response have the same ID. Yes. So that is how it's generating it. Which I don't know if it's a great idea, but anyway, that's the way we do it. So I need to set the response ID equal to the same guy above. So this increment, we need to do it at the end, otherwise is a problem. Come on, what is going on with this? Sometimes when Visual Studio wants to do his own formatting is annoying. Just because he doesn't see the end of the line. So response ID... wait, response ID should be equal to this one. We can do equal to trigger ID actually. Right. The reason is just because the loading code here is loading it this way. But I think this should not mess up anything. I think it should not be a problem. I think it should not be a problem, hopefully. Hello, Venelan. Hey, good evening. We are still working on the pets. I decided to implement what yesterday I said that I would not implement. Because I found an idea on how to do it, and I think it's doable. It's not super easy, but it's doable. So yesterday was a bit stuck on this, how to do it, but now I think it was Grim Fandango music. Yeah, you can read it at the bottom. I think it was, yes. So we need, so yeah. So I think we just need the ID and the trigger response, and everything else will be empty. And then we pass here what? We pass here specific responses, right? And specific triggers. And yes, he also wants the knowledge area, TRA of knowledge area, but TRA of knowledge area for us will be empty. So I think for us would be something like that. We don't load knowledge areas at the moment. Now I have no idea if this will ever gonna work, but but the logic is kind of there. The logic is kind of there. For example, this one is Leisure Suite Larry 3. Who played Leisure Suite Larry 3? Huh? I did. Okay, we are waiting the compilation. We will need a lot of debug on this, and we will have to test it a few times, because definitely this is not gonna work at the first run. For sure. For sure. Okay, while it's compiling, we can think to the delete. So the delete. Do we really want to delete? Yes, we need to delete. We have to delete. We have to delete. I don't know if at the moment we can delete. I don't know if we can delete. I think that our dictionary system is designed only to add. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Let me search remove somewhere here. Add words. Comment out warning here because this loud word actually skip to make delete trigger responses. There is a... There is a possibility to delete. Probably because we do it when we reload the NPC. I think so. Let me see who is calling this one, huh? The problem is that it needs the NPC trigger. Yeah, but this I think I can find it. Who is calling this? Nah. We have it when the quest is getting reloaded. When the quest is getting reloaded. Is inside PS Quest. But no. I mean, yes and no. Do we have something in the destructor of PS character? Do we have something in the destructor of APS character? I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, because the quest system is able to reload itself, right? And so is also able to delete triggers. But it seems to me that it's doing it in a kind of a special way. So he's using these trigger pairs, which is probably storing up front. Add a trigger response. Trigger pay. Yeah, it's like storing this stuff, right? Well, we could do it as well for the pet, but I think it's a bit of a pity to... I just don't understand too much what he's doing here. So he's deleting the trigger and he wants also a response ID. Why he wants the response ID? Why wants the response ID? Responses multi-find. Responses multi-find. Response ID and by response ID. Responses removed single. Yeah, but this code is good. This code is good. It's just that we need it, you know, on all the possible responses. I don't understand why. Remove single while iter. Response ID, create iterator. Response is multi-find. I mean, it may work. I'm not 100% sure why the response ID is only one, but in our case, yes, the response ID is equal to the trigger ID, so it will be only one. So if we do a multi-find, in theory, we will be able to find all the responses. So I think it kind of makes sense. I think it kind of makes sense, the delete trigger response. I think it kind of makes sense. We can try to use it. I'm not, you know, 100% sure that it will actually do something, but do something good, but Yeah, why is saying it doesn't exist? Now, the problem is, how do we get the NPC trigger? That we need to delete. So we need to first search it. So we need to search a trigger inside our local dict. But I think this one we can. I mean, there should be a find trigger. Exactly. There should be a find trigger. Trigger data. No, find trigger like this is not working for us. Find trigger like this is not good. It's not good. Can I get all the triggers? And just compare them myself, because I think that would be easier. Because in this case we know already that we don't have... I think there is a print function which is doing that. Wait. I think there is a dump. I remember there was a dump print function which was extracting all the triggers. Yes, this one. So I think we should do a new function which is searching a trigger by name, which by the way is a super bad idea in general, so we should never use it except for this case. Because if you do it on the whole set, it will never finish. But yes. Let's do this. Let's do this, and let's do a find. Let's create a new function which is like a find trigger by name. So instead of find trigger, we will have another function which will pay, right, something like that, something like this, something like this, and it will be find trigger by name. And obviously we will have an f string name as a or trigger text, and we return an NPC trigger, yes. And wait, I think I cut off too much. I need these two lines. And yeah, this one it will work. Now it doesn't work, but it will. Now the only filter we want to apply. Hello, Rush dude. Welcome. The only filter we want to do is actually to find if the trigger area, no, if the trigger equals no case or equals, that's a good question. Equals no case or equals, I think we can do equals no case, but I don't know. Trigger text, so equal to trigger text, right? Aka pancake or not operator? It's always you. You're changing names all the time. That may be an issue, because I may stop memorizing them, you know, just because there are too many. So if we find one trigger which is actually the one that we want, right? I think we just return it. And that's it. And we don't need anything else here. Now if we don't find it, we will return a null pointer. Okay, let me just declare this function. Let me put maybe a disclaimer somehow, because this one should be used only in kind of extreme cases. Because it is searching. Yeah, exactly. This is searching by name, which is a super bad idea. But in a pet, we have so little triggers. There will be like a maximum 5 triggers, you know, or something like that, or 10, which is very easy. Your FPS has gone a long way, almost finished. Very nice. If you have any screenshot or something. So we need to add... let me search for the other fine trigger. Okay. Don't use on full dict. Used only for pets, as they have super small dict. Yeah, super small dictionary. Okay. So I think what we can do, we can get, so in our function here, we can get, by the way, all these functions could be useful in the future somehow, you know, because we may work more on this concept of local dictionaries. You would send it on disk? On Discord, you mean? No, there is no self-promo. You made it with Unreal. If you go in Unreal Engine, if you go in the Unreal Slackers, which I guess is the, you know, the Discord Unreal Slackers, right? There is a channel for work in progress and a channel for released. So you can promote it there. You can post it there. And maybe you did it already, I don't know. Ah, you made it with Unity. Ah, okay. GG. No, if you made it with Unity, no. But maybe there is a Unity Discord as well, right? Maybe there is a Unity Discord where there is a self-promo. No, I was thinking for some reason it was Unreal Engine. Sorry, no. If it's Unity, no, we are not very interested. Delete pet phrase. So we will find a trigger name with trigger text, and hopefully we are getting an NPC trigger pointer found trigger as a result, right? And then we will try to pass in this found trigger, and then we will pass also the ID of the trigger, right? NPC trigger is undefined. What is it, lowercase? Yes, it's lowercase. Okay, in theory this one should also delete it. Now, don't ask me, but I mean, I'm not sure it will work, obviously. I think we are still a bit far from, you know, having this thing even remotely functional. But all the logic, you know, all the logic is in place. So now it's a matter of seeing what we need to do to make it work. You only see general rules, real and false. Yeah, in our channel is not. And by the way, if it's a Unity game, it's not interesting to us. I mean, to us, I mean to the other people that are in the Discord, right? If it's Unreal, I mean, there are some Unreal developers there, so even if it's not plane shift related, they may be interested if it's Unreal. But if it's Unity, no. You should check the Unity Discord. For sure, there is one, and you can promote it there, right? Okay, at least it compiled. At least it compiled. Which is encouraging. Definitely encouraging. Pum 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 pum. Do you think I have an ice cream or not? I don't think I have. Let me check. But I'm not sure. Probably not. I think I finished them a long time ago. Let me check 1 second. Yes, there is one left. There is one left. One last ice cream. Yay! Okay. Okay, so now we changed the name. Yeah, we changed the name of this thing, and so we cannot call it this way. It's normal that, I mean, it was expected. Let me just check if no. Okay. You see that now I can edit it. Gelato. One new quest bug. If you can reproduce it continuously, I can check it. Can you reproduce it continuously? And if yes, I can open the window. Ah, fuck, this server is dead. Ah. It's dead because the light went down. Fuck. Wait a second. I think it's yeah, it was really completely shut down. Anyway, if you reproduce it locally, Benland, if you reproduce the crash and you open the server log, just send it to me and it will be enough, so I don't have to reproduce it myself. Just send me the log where you have the crash. And in the log, I see what I need. It's enough for me. The text is enough. Question. Wait. Yeah, we need a bit more space. Okay. Yeah, I will do the the crash first, because the crashes are the one that I want to catch as soon as possible. No IP. Wait. I don't know what it's doing, but I think it's starting. Okay. What is title answer? Okay. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, this one will be a bit spammy because we need the get text of each of them. And then we need to convert it to string. And so there will be quite some nodes. Because there are 5 answers, so... To do that. Okay. Holy moly. Okay, so we basically create a new trigger and then we pass the new trigger to the add function. Now, we can do also the delete. This one is request add new trigger. Right? That is what it is. Now that delete is inside pet phrase. And is not this one. Is this one. Now, these two, now these two. Request. No, it's easy. This one is easy. We are already server side, so we can just call this one. And here we are also ready server side. And we can call this one. Okay. Okay, so I think that in terms of pieces in place, all the pieces are in place. Now, if they work, I have no idea. No, there is... Wait. No, there is a big piece missing, which is the actual reloading. The actual reloading... No. There is no need. There is no need of any reloading because we are changing the dictionary dynamically. Yeah, we are changing the dictionary dynamically. Yeah, I think so. Now the only problem is how do we speak with the pet? Fuck. I think we don't have a way. I think we have all this done, but we cannot speak with him. We cannot actually speak. Hello, Zwei. Hello, welcome. We cannot? Fuck. Seriously? I mean, can we do it by command line? Maybe yes. Maybe if I do /tell the name of the NPC and something, he will answer. I don't know if you can do it. Can you do it in the old game? Can we do it in the old game, boys? Yeah, does it work with pets? Tell NPC. cannot move in this game. Tell NPC. Tell NPC. In the old game, Tell NPC works also with the pet. If I don't have a target, what happens? I don't know. If I don't have a target, it's doing nothing. The problem is, do we have Tell NPC in Unreal? Do we have Tell NPC in Unreal? Probably not. We have a spreadsheet for everything, right? Which is great. We have a spreadsheet for anything. Tell NPC. We don't know if it's ported though. Yeah, I think we never tested it. Tell NPC. I can check. It would be the easiest, you know, to user manager. Fuck, Tell NPC is none to be found. Okay. Tell NPC does not exist, so it was probably a client-side only command at the time. Tell NPC doesn't exist. There is a tell, but there is not a tell NPC. So in Unreal, I guess we don't have it at all. I mean, it should not be too hard to do though, because the whole messaging system is working, so... no, because it would be nice to see him answering, but in case it works, but... I think it was probably client-side in the old game. Probably. Probably. We are gonna find out right now. Tell NPC. Searching what? Searching the current world. Searching the current project. Probably will not find it. No, I have to do search entire solution. Yeah, I know, you cannot find it. Hello, Tua. Welcome. We are working on pets. We decided to do what yesterday I said I would not do. Yeah, it's on the dialogue, yes. He's on the thingy, but you know, I think it may work actually. Tell NPC. No, I don't understand what I'm looking at, but because tell NPC is the command that we use for but we changed it. I think that our bubbles are no more doing that. The old bubbles we're sending a tell NPC. The new bubbles, we can check. The new bubbles. The new bubbles. The new bubbles are where? Under NPC bubbles, huh? And then NPC bubbles are actually using WD, yeah, WD chat bubble, which is another thing. I want to see when I click on this one. When I click on this one, holy moly. Send NPC chat message. Yeah, in reality, we already have the function. We just need the trigger and the NPC. And we have a function. Okay. And that's not too bad. That's not too bad. So we need to call this one. Send NPC chat message. Now, how do we do it? I think I can enable it from the Win chat. Why not? I think we can enable it from here. I think I can add a new. No. I think I can add a new tell NPC, right? A new tell NPC. And tell NPC, I know this graph is a mess, huh? This graph is a real mess, but I think tell NPC will do exactly like the old game is doing. So it will just check if you have a target, and if you have a target, you will go on. You will go on play. It will go in. Do we have someone that is going? No. None of them. Okay. No problem. So we go here and we do send NPC chat message, right? Where the message is everything else that you have I think we can just cut off the right chop. Yeah, I think we can do this. We can just right chop the command. Right. And we can just right chop the command. So this will be tell NPC uses current targeted NPC. Now for the target NPC, I think we can get target object or something. Don't remember how we. I think we have get target object. Get target object should do it. Get target object. But get target object on pawn, I guess. Pam. Cast to PS character BP. And I think this one is a get target object. I don't remember if we should call it or we can use it. This one is replicated, huh? Let me just search 1 second. Target object. Let me search it kind of everywhere. Seems that we are using this one, so let's do it the same because that seems to be already tested. Ah! Yeah, the target object is actually is actually an actor. So we need to convert it to. We need to cast it to PS character, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, if the object is not a PS character that you have targeted, it will do nothing anyway. So you have to be a character, he has to be a character, and we are sending the trigger text, which is the remaining part after tell NPC. So I think this should be okay. The server is staying down. No, I just need to bring him up. Did we change IP? Yeah, because today we had an electricity issue and everything went down. No, I have to go physically there. I have to physically go there. 1 second. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if he's alive. Ah, he's alive. He's alive. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Okay, it's restarting now. I think the database... is the database up or not? Probably not. Yeah, there are usually a few issues that... But we will see if it goes up, because at startup I also need to do a few things, like reset some environment stuff, and there is some stuff I need to restart, but it should be fine. Let's see if it starts. Okay, so we have this one. Can we test something? I want to test something. We did a lot of work. I want to see something. Okay, so the C++ is recompiled, right? The blueprints are saved. I don't know. Let's start the server and see what happens. So at the moment we don't have any triggers loaded. Ah, there is one other thing we need to do, but I can do it later. I need to remember to remove all the triggers that start with familiar. No, we can do it right now. I think it's better to do it right now, because if I forget, it will become a mess. If I forget it. So when we are preloading all the triggers, when we are preloading all the triggers, we should exclude the ones of the pet, right? When the server is starting up, we don't want to load preload triggers now. Where is the preloading of the triggers done? Is done by... Well, it's actually done by areas, so it's done by quests, yes, and then it's done by NPC when we are loading the NPC. So I think it's already excluding the ones that are never connected, unless wait, is there a preload KA? Preload, no. Wait, NPC knowledge areas. Let me see if there is NPC knowledge. No, let me do NPC triggers directly. NPC triggers. So, okay, there is the add trigger. There is the initialize local dict. This is the one that I did now. There is the load triggers, but this one is coming or from the quest or from... I don't think there is a... I mean, if that KA is not linked to anything, I think it's not getting loaded. Because... yeah, exactly. Is checking the knowledge area of this the particular player ID. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I think it should already be fine. It should already be fine. Yeah, the server seems to be up, by the way. No. I mean the test server. Okay, let me try to see if we can do this. Let me see. Ula, you said something weird before. Let me see. I read it, but I didn't process it. I think more than 10 years of game, I never call an NPC by phone. I still don't know why I call him. What do you mean by phone? What do you mean by phone? We don't have phones. It's the first time he starts, so it will take a bit. No, I didn't start either. I think it crashed. Let me see. Maybe it crashed. Yes, it crashed. Why is trying to load a familiar? Why? Why is trying to load dictionary PS character 6710? What? Why? Why is trying to load a... No. Initialize local dict. Yeah, but bro. Initialize local dict. Only if he's a pet, please, huh? PS character 726. No, come on. Only if he's a pet. He was trying to load. And by the way, the query is broken. NPC responses were area. What? Okay, there is a mess there. There are two problems. The first problem is that we need to do this only if he's a pet. If he's not a pet, no way. The second thing is that inside initialization of our dictionary, we have some mess up. Select star from a city where area equal to family. This one works. The next one doesn't work. Select from NPC responses where area... I think responses do not have the area. Mistakes were made. Mistakes. Yeah, he only has the trigger ID. We have a problem. Okay, we have a problem. What? We have a problem, but I copied this code. This is the one that I copied. So... No, please. I copied this thing. No, I didn't. I think I copied this thing. Load triggers. Load responses. Ah, yes, I copied it from here, but okay, I understand. Fuck. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, we can load the triggers. But then we have a problem. That if you want to load the responses related to those triggers, we probably cannot do it this way. Because we cannot search by area. Because area is only on the triggers. We cannot search by area. We need to search by... Yeah. This copy was a bit naive. Was a bit naive. Was a bit naive on my side. Was a bit naive. Yeah, because if it's not loading from the array, it's loading all of them. We need another mech. Well, it's not that hard though. Wait. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Because we have the triggers, eh? We have all the triggers here. So you know what? We will do this. We will do a T-array of int. Triggers loaded. And we will just add the ID. Triggers ID. Trigger IDs. Whatever. Triggers ID loaded. We will put all the trigger that we loaded into... only the one that we managed to load. Only the one that we managed. Now, this multi-trigger. So we added to the triggers ID loaded, and then we can just, instead of doing this, which is obviously wrong because area doesn't exist. Area doesn't exist. We will, yeah, because the saving to the database is a completely different discussion, right? Is a completely different discussion. But basically, just to understand how it may work, right? So we need to... We need to... We need to... We need to... Fuck. Fuck. He wants to load it with a database record. Well, actually I can, but... Fuck, there is a problem. I mean, it's not a big problem, but it's a mild problem. is a mild problem. Because I can load it from the database, yes. But I cannot hit the database every time you summon and unsummon your pet. There is no way. There is no way. But for now, I think I have no other way. For now, I think I have no other way. Or we keep the dictionary... Or we keep the dictionary loaded together with the character. Okay, let me do something. Okay, because we are finishing our time. Let me do something. This is broken. This will not work. Okay. But I think we can do something at least to see if the other part is working. And what I can do... I can for now exclude the initial loading. Let me exclude the initial loading 1 second. But we needed to implement a better system for loading this stuff. Otherwise... Let me exclude for a second the initial loading, okay? Because anyway, we don't have any data there, so... But the initial loading, I need to rethink it a bit, because I'm okay to hit the database when the NPC is loaded the first time, but I'm not okay to hit the database every time we summon and unsummon the pet, because they will be too much. The problem is that the pet dialogue is kept inside the pet. So when you unsummon it, the pet is actually destroyed, right? And when you summon it, is reloaded from scratch. Maybe we could avoid destroying him. Maybe. So we can have your pet when you are in the game and you summon your pet stays there forever. It's just that when you unsummon, it disappears. So you don't see that it's there, but it's there actually. The only problem of that is where to put it. Or we make a box full of pets. Making a Tel Jafekra like you do it with your friends list. Ula, are you answering to a question of half an hour ago or what? Like the Tel NPC, I asked it like 1 hour ago. Or half an hour ago. This is okay, huh? Did it crash again? No, it didn't. It's actually starting. Nice. Okay, so there will be a lot of stuff not working, huh? So I don't think I can show you anything, but let's see. Do-do-do-do-do-do. 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 Okay. So now I don't know what will happen, but basically if I summon my pet, oh, by the way, you didn't see this, look. Useful, huh? I didn't see this. I can expand it and contract it, so you can keep the abilities of your pet here and okay, anyway. So if I click on learn one Answe, I don't know why it is at the end, but it's okay. You're speaking about telephone of an NPC? What are you speaking about? Okay, so it's your own thing. So if I do learn one, by the way, also this works now, and you can click on this and you can see the description. Okay, you can see the description of each one. But learn one answer. I click on this. Nothing happens. Fuck it. Why nothing happens? Everything crashed. Okay, as expected. The server crashed. So he tried to do something at least. So he tried to do get pet triggers and send pet dialogues, and he crashed. Okay, so we need to launch it in debug mode and see why. But he tried to do something. So he tried to execute pet manager 1605. Yeah, now he's starting, so I cannot really. But he tried to execute get pet triggers. Probably the local dictionary was not initialized. Yes, because I removed the initialization. Fuck it. The problem is that who is initializing this? Apart from the initialization for sure is initializing it. Okay, stop everything. I think I know the problem. The problem is that we need to initialize it at least a bit, otherwise initialize local dict. I think we never initialize it. I think we never wait. Wait. I think I know the problem. I just need to find it, but I think we'll be okay. Yes, dict new NPC dialog dict, right? So we do this for the global, and then we do initialize, but actually we never do it for the local. I think. Right. So I need, yeah, because I removed it. Okay. Because I removed the initialization, and so we need to. Okay, let's keep this. But inside of this, for now we will just return. For now we will just return through here. Okay. Okay. Yes, because the dialogue needs at least to be initialized. Otherwise, we cannot put triggers into it or get triggers from it. Now, I don't know if this initialization is really doing what we need. Yeah, it's at least initializing a new trigger tree. So it should be kind of okay. It's also putting the dynamic ID. Ah, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. So let's try again now. Let's try again now. Why I launched this? What? It was the editor open? Probably just because it was the editor open? Okay. Fuck. Sorry, I'm stupid. Why is launching the editor? Why does this change now? Who changed this? When I regenerated the project files. Okay. I know. Because when I regenerated the project files, it cleared up the server tag. That's the server crash. Okay, I will check it. That is the server crash. Server admin manager handle quest. Admin manager 30020. Oh my god! I remember this debug on math script. I don't want to see it anymore. There was stuff. What you said? 1036? No, 13020. Admin manager. 13020. No, 13020. No, 13020 doesn't exist. Fuck, admin manager. Can I click on the right stuff? We assume list even if it isn't. Okay, so what you did, Venalan, to do this, to reach this part? I mean, what were you doing on the crash? You were just speaking with an NPC or something? Because it seems that he's trying to retrieve the quest list or something. He's trying to retrieve the list of the quest to send you, I think. Yeah. He crashed because he was trying to get the quest list from someone that was offline. I think. Would be interesting to know how you did that. Would be very interesting. Okay. So let me see if we can summon my pet, which now is working perfectly. And if I can click on learn one answer. Ah! Ah! Ah, fuck, I cannot move that window. This window cannot be moved. Fuck! Okay, it cannot be moved, but don't worry. Teach your pet a new answer. Okay. Question: who are you? Answer: your pet. Me. Yul Barrio. Your mom. No one. Okay. So if I click on teach, in theory... Holy shit. Everything froze and this got destroyed. Okay. Okay, I clicked on teach and... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And it crashed. Yeah, but I think I know why. I think I know why. But at least we saw the UI, yeah? So it means that we went to the server, we asked for the existing phrases, and it came out as 0 phrases. Which is not bad. So at least it did something. I think it crashed because I connected something wrong. I'm pretty sure. This request add pet phrase is probably pointing to the wrong thing. Probably. This button is probably pointing. Yes. It's pointing to the wrong function because when I did the change request pet add phrase on PC. Yes. So this one should go here. This one should go away. Because we need to go to the player controller and then we can and then we can do this. Okay, I think that we saved it, so I can restart it. I will restart it always in debug mode because I'm pretty sure that a lot of stuff will happen. So Venolan said that he created a bug. But it's not this probably. Where I need to go? I don't see it. Is it? It scales by losing the quest with a different number of steps to the version of the step using the quest me list. Okay. Yeah, that's a kind of a sketchy situation. Yeah. Okay. I see the issue, not sure yet how to solve it, but... Do you think we'll happen often? Okay, this one is up, so let's reconnect. Let's reconnect and see. Let's reconnect and see. So I summon my pet, which is there. And then I go learn one answer. And then I will say, tell me a number. Right? And the answer can be 1, 33, 21, 77, or 12. Teach. Boom. Okay, it exploded. Let me see what he's trying to do. Okay, he's trying to he's actually trying to add the new knowledge, and the dictionary to use seems to be the right one because I think it's the one of the pet. Yes, which has an empty triggers, which is nice. Then specific trigger loaded 1, which is good because we have 1 trigger. Unfortunately, the area is empty. No, also the trigger is empty. No, we wait a second. We're probably not passing the data right. Let me see. We are not passing in the data. No, actually. Trigger new NPC. No. Specific trigger add. Yes. Why? Why this trigger says that is empty? I don't understand. Do we? What? I don't understand. Specific trigger 1, yes. There is a copy by value, so I mean it's... Specific responses. No, the responses are okay. The responses are fine. Well, there is answer 1 though, huh? But answer 1, answer 4, answer 3. No, but I don't understand why. Anyway, the good part is that he tried to do something. I think this load trigger is deleting this. So I think I need to save it. But he was working for the... He was working for the random events, right? So I don't think we are deleting that information. I think this one may mess us up, because you see this delete new trigger. This delete new trigger. Why we are deleting? Because it's the one that we created here. No, so this one should be fine in theory. But it's kind of strange that we have the trigger here and then it's getting invalid inside this function, you know? So it's a bit weird. Another thing that I've seen, let me fix it, is that we are taking this txt answer is probably not the right one. Yeah, I don't know why these are variables. They tricked me. All these ones are variable for whatever reason. They obviously should not be. Yes, I know. It's not txt answer. It's edit answer. This one tricked me. But we are progressing, we are progressing. Slowly, but we are progressing. Why these are not? Because they're not the same, huh? Okay, fine. We are slowly progressing and fixing the issue. And seeing some data going through. We are still a bit far, but... And there are still some issues, but... You know... We are progressing. The problem is that it's becoming a bit late. Fuck. I think I need to go, boys. I think I need to go. Time is always so short. Time is always so short. I need to go. I need to go, I think. Yeah, I think I will go. Because it will take time to do this test. We will do it tomorrow anyway, okay? Okay, so I think I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you for watching. If you are new to the stream, I will appreciate if you can click on follow on Twitch. And also if you have access to our YouTube channel, if you can click on subscribe on YouTube. There are some counters that are meaningful. I think when we reach like 1000 something happened, so I think it's good if you do it. Also, if you want to check our Patreon site, is patreon.com/planeshift, and we actually nearly reached our goal of 40 people. We are at 39 now, and it would be very nice if we can reach 40. And with the access to the Patreon, you get access to the alpha and to our supporters channel. And that's it. So thank you for watching. And I think I will see you tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So, see you tomorrow, boys. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We are too few to do a raid, but one day we will do a raid. I mean, we did many already, so it's okay. It's okay. Have a good night.